we'll be starting with the topic of inflammation. So what is inflammation? Inflammation is basically a response of the vascularized tissues, that is your blood vessels. Vascularized tissues that delivers the leukocytes from the leukocytes and molecules of host defense. It delivers leukocytes plus host defense molecules from the circulation to the site of infection. From circulation to the site of infection. And what is the purpose of this? In order to eliminate the offending agents. So what is inflammation? Definition of inflammation is it is a response of the vascularized tissues, which are your blood vessels, which delivers the leukocytes and other host defense molecules from the circulation to the site of infection in order to eliminate the offending agents. Alright, so inflammation sounds as if it is not a protective response, but it is a highly protective response of the body which eliminates both the cause and the consequence of infection. So consequence of infection. So cause is, suppose we have a bacterial infection, so bacteria is the cause, and consequences all the symptoms we have because of that bacterial infection. So inflammation will lead to the elimination of both the cause and the consequence of bacterial infection. We are just taking a general overview of inflammation. So superficially we'll be now talking about like what are the steps involved in inflammation. So there are 5 R's which are involved. First is recognition. Recognition means we need to recognize what is the organism, what is the microorganism which is affecting our body, which is disturbing our body's normal homeostasis. So that will be recognized with the help of certain receptors and certain chemical substances being released by the microbe. Second is recruitment. What is recruitment? In Hindi it translates into the word bharti. So we'll be recruiting the various leukocytes to the site of infection so that they can destroy the microorganism. Third is removal. Removal means the leukocytes are going to the place of infection and they are removing the agent, removing the microbial agent. Then regulating. So when the microbe has been completely removed from the place of infection, we need to regulate the process. That is, we need to stop the process so that it may not continue forever, because if we do not stop the process, it will end up hampering our own body. So we need to regulate the process. And finally repair. Repair means the microorganism, when it infected our body, it obviously has hampered the cells of our body, hampered certain tissues of our body. So we need to repair those damaged tissues and cells. So there are basically 5 steps: recognition, recruitment, removal, regulate and repair, which are involved in inflammation. Now we come on to the types of inflammation. Types. So it is of 2 types: acute and chronic. Acute means the inflammation is starting within minutes or hours of the microbial, like as soon as you have a microbial infection, the inflammation is occurring within either hours or minutes of inflammation. And chronic inflammation happens when it is taking days. And the other major difference is the type of cell involved in the inflammation. So in acute you have neutrophils, and in chronic inflammation we have monocytes or macrophages. Alright, so these are the 2 cell types involved. And if we talk about the local signs and symptoms, so when we will be seeing acute inflammation, so in acute inflammation the signs and symptoms at the local area, they'll be very prominent, like you can easily observe them. Suppose you have like some sort of injury or a scar over here, at that point of time the inflammation will be very prominently seen at this place. So the signs and symptoms of acute inflammation, they are very prominent, while in case of chronic inflammation they are less prominent. Alright, now we come on to the causes of inflammation. So what are the reasons why are we having inflammation? So causes: first is infections, You have a bacterial infection, you have a viral infection, fungal infection, which are leading to inflammation. Second is tissue necrosis. We have already done the mechanism why necrosis and how necrosis is leading to inflammation. Then third is foreign bodies. For example, we have dust particles in certain foreign bodies which are accumulating in the particular region of our body and leading to inflammation. Example is, for example, we see in gout. In gout, we see the uric acid crystals which are accumulating in the joint cavities and they are leading to inflammation. So accumulation of this urate crystals in gout is an example of foreign body which is leading to inflammation. And finally, we have the immune system and the immune responses or the hypersensitivity reactions which are leading to inflammation. So for example, our immune system becomes hypersensitive, and because of which there are huge amount of cytokines being produced by the T lymphocytes and other cells of the body which are causing inflammation. So now we come on to the next topic, which is the recognition of microbes and damaged cells. So for initiating inflammatory reaction, we need to recognize the microbial components, we need to recognize the microbes which are causing. So what are the various ways? So first is we have cellular receptors for microbes. So we have certain cells in our body like dendritic cells, macrophages and other leukocytes which have certain receptors present on them which are able to recognize the foreign substances. For example, certain cells have extra receptors present on the plasma membrane for the extracellular microbes. Since it is present on the plasma membrane, so it will be recognizing the extracellular microbes. For the ingested microbes, some endosomes, they have the receptors, and for the microbes present in the cytosol, we have for the intracellular microbes, we have which are present inside the cell. For the intracellular microbes, we have receptors present in the cytosol. These receptors come under the huge family of receptors called toll-like receptors, TLRs, toll-like receptors, which recognize and they are expressed on particular cells like your macrophages, dendritic cells and certain leukocytes. Now this was the cellular microbes, like how are the microbes recognized. Now second is there are certain receptors present which sense the cellular damage, So generally, when we look into our body, DNA, it would be present inside the nucleus. Then ATP, it would be present inside the mitochondria. But when you have a cellular damage, then at that point of time, these substances, they will not be present at their respective sites, but will be found at places other than their original places, right? And so when the receptors present in the particular cells, the sensors of the cellular damage, the receptors called the node-like receptors, NLRS, node-like receptors. These receptors, they will be recognizing the substances which are indicating cellular damage, and then because of after their recognition, there will be production of a multi-protein complex which is called as inflammasome. So this inflammasome will further lead to the inflammatory reaction. Then there are other cellular components which are involved in inflammation. For example, these were the direct mechanisms that the node-like receptors and the TLRs, they were directly able to recognize the agents for inflammation, the foreign agents. But there are certain cellular receptors which are indirectly involved. So for example, many of the microbes, they have an coating of antibodies around them, and there are certain microbes which have the coating of opsonine proteins around them. So there will be certain specialized leukocytes which will be able to recognize these specific microbes which have either the coating of antibody on it or the coating of opsonine over it. So they will be recognizing, and then further the process of inflammation would be induced. And there are certain proteins circulating in our body which are known as complement proteins. These proteins, they produce mediators of inflammation, and they recognize, for example, if we see, there is a mannose binding lectin which recognizes the microbial sugars and therefore induce the ingestion of microbes by the activation of complement system. So the bacterial cell wall, they have certain mannose sugars present over it, and they are mannose binding lectins circulating in our blood which will be recognizing these sugars, and after the recognition there is an interaction between this receptor and this particular sugar, then it will induce the complement system to further proceed and destroy this microbe, resulting in one of the intermediate steps in the process of destruction, that is the inflammation. So this was the basic introduction of inflammation. Next we'll come on to acute inflammation.